All right, first and foremost, I'm going to say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. That's all praise to the Most High God and the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And it's SICARRI Dallas back at it with another Thursday night class, man. So today we're going to go in. What you got going? What's that? Come on, man. Today we're going to go into essentially who Paul was talking to in the book of Romans. Because we believe from the Hebrew Israelite perspective, we believe he is specifically talking to Israelites, specifically to Jews who were in Rome. So let's go throughout the scriptures and let's go throughout Paul's epistle and see exactly who he's talking to. Let's just start with verse 1.
Yeah, this is the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, a servant of Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, called to be an apostle, separated unto the gospel of God.
Separated unto the gospel of God, right? The gospel of God. Read the next verse.
Which he had promised afore by his prophets in the Holy Scriptures.
Which he had promised afore by his prophets in the Holy Scriptures. So what does that mean? That means the gospel predates the New Testament. The gospel or good tidings is a fulfillment of what the prophets say. Now, let's just read that. Let's go to Isaiah 61. Isaiah 61. Let's just read that real fast.
It is Isaiah 61, verse 1. The spirit of Yahweh power is upon me, because Yahweh have anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek.
To do what?
Preach good tidings unto the meek.
Preach good tidings unto the meek, right? Go ahead.
He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives.
To do what?
Proclaim liberty to the captives.
Proclaim liberty to the captives, those who are in captivity. Showing you, it's even just before we even get to where it says who it's for, it's giving you a differentiation between two different people. The people who are captives and people who are not captives. Go ahead.
And the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh, and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion.
And where?
In Zion.
In Zion, showing you what? The gospel or the good news or the good tidings is for those who are in Zion, those who are in captivity, those who are the meek, the lowly of the world, the Israelites. And why would they be lowly? Because they're under the curses. Our people is perpetually under the curses because we continue to transgress the law. We continue to do things that are just straight opposite of what the Most High tells us to do. We praise evil. Like matter of fact, we just world star hip hop. Let's talk about that. World star hip hop. When you wonder why your woman can't grow hair, it's world star hip hop. When you wonder why you're your first one fired, last person hired, world star hip hop. I mean, you do things like that. You praise fighting. You're murderers. You love to listen to music where people praise murder. You love to listen to music where people praise being an idolater, being an adulterer. That's why we're brought to this low state. That's why we're the meek of the earth. That's why we're the lowly of the earth. That's why we specifically need the gospel. Now, just going back to the text, let's say pericope, right? Let's say in the context of this, he's saying the gospel, like the Most High God, really is saying that the gospel is for Zion. Right now, go to where it talks about go down fast. You know what I want the strangers. Go to the strangers, right? You skipped it.
Oh, shit. Isaiah 61:5. And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks.
Strangers, non-Israelites, so stand and feed your flocks. Keep going.
And the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and vine dressers.
So your plowmen and vine dressers. What is that? That's captivity. That's slavery. Slavery is literally in the gospel for those who are not of Zion. If you're not of Zion, you're going to be what? A slave. That's why it says strangers shall stand and feed your flocks. Just like how we were slaves in America and all the various captivities that Israel has been in. Right now, go down to verse 9. I'll make one more point.
Isaiah 61:9. And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles.
Who's their seed? Zion, Israel. Go ahead.
And their offspring among the people. All that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed which Yahweh had blessed.
We are the seed that Yahweh has blessed. The Lord has blessed. That we are the seed. It's showing you again that the gospel is specifically for a set people and not for everybody. Now, when we jump back to the book of Romans, go back to the book of Romans real fast. Romans 1.
Romans chapter 1, verse 1. Paul, a servant of Hamashiach Yahushua, called to be an apostle, separated unto the gospel.
Separated unto the gospel, because he's meant to go preach that to our people who were scattered abroad, right? Now, a Christian will pick this up and say this is now for everybody. But now when you actually read, go to verse 2. Go to verse 2. I'll finish my point.
Verse 2. Which he had a promise afore by his prophets in the Holy Scriptures.
They promised afore by his prophets in the Holy Scriptures. Isaiah being one of them. Zechariah being one of them. Jeremiah being one of them. They all prophesied about Israel rising up. And they also prophesied about the vengeance. What's part of that vengeance? Captivity. It's like Jeremiah 30, verse 16, like Isaiah chapter 14, Isaiah chapter 60. There's so many. Matter of fact, even when it's talking about Edomites being destroyed, that's part of the gospel. That's the good news for Israel, that you will be saved. That the sword is bathed in heaven and it'll come down upon Idumea. That's part of the gospel. So now when we get to this, this already disqualifies everybody else. Like the first two verses of Romans chapter 1, verse 1 automatically disqualifies this to be talking about everybody, because he's separated unto the gospel, right? And the gospel is for Israelites. Now go ahead and get verse 7.
Verse 7, Romans 1 and 7. To all that be in Rome.
Now this right here, right? Now he's specifically saying who he's talking to. Read that whole verse again.
To all that be in Rome. Beloved of God.
To all that be in Rome, beloved of God. Everybody is not beloved of the Lord. Everybody is literally not like you can't show me anywhere in the Bible where it says somebody is loved of the Lord outside of Israel. You can't see that. The Most High set his love upon Israel only. That's why he gave us the law. That's why he made the covenant with our forefather Abraham. That's why he exalted us as a people. That's why we're the best people on the planet. God damn it.
That's right.
Now keep going.
Called to be saints.
Called to be what?
Saints.
Called to be saints. Called to be what? The set apart ones. Who are the saints? Go ahead and get that.
Oh.
Let's see who are the saints. Because this is really like this. Things like this is something you should ask a Christian before you even get to dealing with cuts about specific things. Like, because they'll go in Romans and try to like say, oh, salvation for everybody. But like when you read just the first chapter, of Romans, it already disqualifies everybody else outside of Israel. So you know exactly who he's talking to before we even get anywhere. And like that's not even like that deep to understand. All you have to do is read the book. And the Christian's worst kryptonite is actually reading the Bible, even in context. Context just like damn a precept. Just reading in context contradicts everything a Christian says. Now go ahead and read that. See who the saints are.
Yeah, this is Psalms 148, verse 14. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints.
Yeah, the praise of all his what?
Saints.
His saints. Who are they?
Even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him.
A people near unto him, because we are the saints. What does the word saint go into? Set apart ones. Who's the only people in the world who's ever been set apart? It's Israel. He said, like it says in Leviticus, he severed us from all. Give me that real fast. You got your Bible. You don't have to pull up, just because I want to stay where we at. Get your Bible now. You got a precept?
I do for the end.
Okay, give me Psalms 50 real fast.
Yeah. This Leviticus chapter 20 and 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I Yahweh am holy, and has severed you.
Severed you. What is that? That's setting apart. Severed you. Take just like if you sever an arm. Let me read that. Like taking an arm from a body. That's severing an arm from a body. That's taking it apart. That's being set apart. The only people the Lord has set apart is the children of Israel, and that's it. That's it only, right? Now, oh, there go y'all. What's up?
Yeah.
Okay.
But y'all what's up?
Hold there real fast. Let me see something real fast. Yeah. So the only matter of fact, yeah. You get it then. Give me Psalms 50, where it says, "I made a covenant with my saints." You know what I'm talking about? Because like the thing, like this should be thought provoking. This should be like this should be things that you should use. What's going on over here, man? Hold up. Lord in Christ, man. Now, this should be thought-provoking to a Christian, right? This should be like, well, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe the Bible isn't specifically for everybody. Maybe the gospel that Paul is separated unto is for the people it was actually written to. Like in Isaiah, matter of fact, the prophets, man. The prophets in general. Now go ahead and get that.
Yeah, this is Psalm chapter 50, verse 5. It says, "Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice."
Covenant with me by what?
Sacrifice.
Who did that? Who did that? Israel. When the blood was sprinkled upon us. Just like when Moses read the whole book of the law to us, we agreed to it. Then the blood was splattered upon us, and we were enjoined unto the covenant. Like the thing about this is, it's not that deep. It's not that deep to know that the Bible isn't talking about everybody. It's not, well, salvation specifically isn't pertaining to everyone on the planet. It's specifically talking to a certain people. And if it wasn't, why would the Most High God make a covenant with his people, put them into captivity for no reason, and then make it to where now everybody can be saved? Like what like that's literally making the Most High a deadbeat father. That's madness, bro. Yeah, I'm sorry, you gonna say something?
No, I'm just I'm pulling up some stuff on the laptop.
Okay. Go back to Romans real quick. As a matter of fact, who's the called? It says called to be. Who's called? Yeah, go ahead and get that. Read. You read Romans 1-7 real fast. Let's see what a called is.
Book of Romans chapter 1 and verse 7. To all that be in Rome, beloved of the Most High, called
to be what?
To be saints.
And called to be saints, called to be the set apart ones. Who's called? Get that. Go ahead and get that. Okay. No, you go ahead and get that.
Yeah, this is Isaiah 45:4. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee.
You've done what?
Called thee.
Who did he call? Read it again from the top.
For Jacob my servant's sake.
Yeah.
And Israel mine elect.
And who's the elect?
Israel mine elect.
Israel mine elect. Go ahead.
I have even called thee by thy name.
He's called us by his name. What did he do by doing that? He set us apart. He set us apart from even just in that act, right? Because he didn't do that to everybody. He only did that to one specific people. He's only called and severed one specific people to give us the law, to give us the covenant. Everybody wasn't like they like to make a big deal about the whole mixed multitude thing. But who was the covenant enjoined to in Exodus? Who had the blood sprinkled upon them? It was the Israelites. So damn, like the whole mixed multitude thing doesn't even matter. Did they get enjoined into the covenant, or did they not? I would love for a Christian to show me that in Exodus. Now go ahead and give me what's that? Get Isaiah 41 real fast. Like Shalom, my gosh. When you get that, Isaiah 41.
Okay. 41.
Start at verse 8.
All right, this is Isaiah 41, verse 8.
Was it 41:8? Yeah, Isaiah 41:8, 8-9, yeah.
But thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend. Thou, whom I have taken from the ends of the earth.
He's taken us from the ends of the earth. That's the severing, like it talks about in Leviticus. Go ahead.
And called thee by Salah, and called thee from the chief men thereof, and said unto thee, thou art my servant, I have chosen thee and not cast thee away.
He's chosen us and not cast us away, and he never will cast us away. Just like give me Romans chapter 11 verse 1. I'm gonna skip over Romans 11 today specifically because that needs its own breakdown because that's an hour and something long. That's a lot of meat. That's a lot of meat. Go ahead and get that.
It's Romans 11 verse 1. I say then, had God cast away his people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
So the Lord hasn't cast away his people, man. Because even Paul he's a Benjamite from the elite tribe of Benjamin, right? You know,
that's right.
You remember that in the Message Bible? He's an elite tribe of Benjamin, right? So he hasn't cast away his people, nor will he ever cast away his people. The Most High God will literally always love us forever. Give me that in Jeremiah. Yeah, go ahead and get that in Jeremiah before we go in. Yeah, you hold that.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 31 and verse 35. Thus saith Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves roar. Yahweh of hosts is his name. If these ordinances depart before me.
So the Most High just loses control of these ordinances that he's his name. Go ahead.
Saith Yahweh, then the seed of Israel shall cease from being a nation before me forever.
And we know the Most High will never do that because he's all powerful, omnipresent. He's everywhere, and he is existence. His name literally is he is existence. He's the existing one. He'll never lose power over that. So what does that mean? He'll never forsake us as a people. That's really what it's going into in Malachi chapter 3, where it talks about the Lord doesn't change. We're not going to.
I got something too. Yeah, I was going to bring that out. This is Malachi 3 and 6 in the NET. It says, "Since I, the Lord, do not go back on my promises, you sons of Jacob have not perished."
That's right. We have not perished. He's not going to forget about his promise he made to Abraham about that innumerable multitude is going to come out of his seed, and that's us. That's the innumerable multitude you see in Revelation chapter 9. It's one of those things where if you follow the context of the Bible and follow the story that's being told, to come to the conclusion that everybody can be saved or this book is for everybody is ridiculous. It just is, man. Now give me go back to Romans. Go to Romans 1 verse 7 again. No, we already read it. Because the thing about it is, if Paul's writing to Israelites, this is what a Christian will say. If Paul's writing to Israelites specifically, why is he talking about Rome? Why is this a letter to Romans? Right now, I want you to read this. I want to pull this out real quick. This right here. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick. Read this without the.
It's still showing your screen.
It's still showing this?
Yeah.
It's just that's because it's late, because it's on the live.
Okay, fine. All right. The history of the Jews in the Roman Empire. The history of the Jews in the Roman Empire traces the interaction of Jews and Romans during the period of the Roman Empire, 27 BCE through CE 476. Their cultures began to overlap in the centuries just before the Christian era.
Oh, just for the what?
Christian era.
Before the Christian era, there was already there. There were Jews already there in the land of Rome. Go ahead.
Jews, as part of the Jewish diaspora, migrated to Rome and Roman Europe from the land of Israel, Asia Minor, Babylon, and Alexandria in response to economic hardship and insistent warfare over the land of Israel between the Ptolemaic and Seleucid empire.
And what is this talking about? This is Maccabees. This is the book of Maccabees. Something you would understand about if you dealt with the Apocrypha, if you dealt with the literal history of what happened to Israel in between Malachi and Matthew. That's the book of Maccabees. This explains why we're where we were at the time. This explains why there was a people who matter of fact, give me that Maccabees real quick. Give me that Maccabees. You start at 1 and was that 41, I believe. You keep reading on this. There's more. There's more I want to go ahead and read this one right here.
Jews have lived in Rome for over 2,000 years, longer than any other European city.
Oh wow!
They originally went there from Alexandria, drawn by the lively commercial intercommerce between those two cities. They may even have established a community there as early as the second pre-Christian century. For in the year 139 BCE, the letter Hispanus,
I think it's
Hispanus issued a decree expelling all Jews who were not Italian citizens.
Showing you what? That we were there before pre-Christian times, specifically. That's really what I wanted out of that. We're there before pre-Christian, like where you see the happenings of what they call the New Testament. We were there before this. And why were we there? Because of what happened to us in the book of Maccabees. The diaspora of the Jews. Go ahead and get that in Maccabees.
It's Maccabees 1:41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the king of the commandment. Yea, many also of the Israelites.
Of the what?
Israelites.
The Israelites
consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols.
Yeah, sacrifice unto idols, what?
And profaned the Sabbath.
But wait, hold up. Both sins worthy of death. Keep going.
For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
Follow the strange laws, because some people teach you got to keep the laws of the land. Go ahead. Keep going.
And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice.
And with burnt offerings and sacrifice, what is that? That's our culture. Through our culture, we had burnt offerings and sacrifices we had to give. That's part of that's our laws. That's our culture. That's our heritage. They had to forsake their heritage. Keep going.
Yep. And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people.
So not only were we polluted, not only was our sanctuary polluted, we completely lost touch of who we were as a people. We were forced to become how the heathen are, just like how we are now. Is that we grew up in American culture. We didn't know we was Israelites. We didn't know that we were God's chosen people. But we didn't know we were God's chosen people. We didn't understand. We didn't understand that we were just different from everybody else. We just thought we were American, just like what happened then. Because they had kids and they had to teach them what? That you're not a Jew. I think there's more on that. Keep going.
Yep. Verse 47. And set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised.
Leave their what?
Uncircumcised.
Leave their children uncircumcised. What's a major thing that shows you're a part of this covenant? Circumcision. We had to leave our children uncircumcised. And what happens when you leave your child uncircumcised? You're cast off from the people. If your child is not circumcised on the 8th day, you were cast off from the people. You've broken the covenant, like how it says in Genesis. Our people got cast. That's part of the diaspora. That's them being made into Gentiles, literally. Now give me 2 Maccabees 6 verse 6.
2 Maccabees 6 and 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
To do what?
Or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Or to profess himself all to be a Jew. We couldn't call ourselves Jews. And what happened? We had children. They couldn't call themselves. They didn't know who they were. So what did they take on? What nationality did they take on? What was given to them? It's Romans. They had to become Romans, just like how we had to become Americans. Right? Go ahead and get your precept.
John, the book of Acts, chapter 16 and verse 20. And brought them to the magistrate, saying, these men, being Jews, do exceedingly trouble our city, and teach customs which are not lawful for us to receive, nor to observe, being Romans.
Being what?
Being Romans.
Read it again. Just read it again.
Acts 16 and verse 20. And brought them to the magistrate, saying, these men, being Jews, do exceedingly trouble our city, and teach customs which are not lawful for us to receive, neither to observe, being Romans.
Because what? You weren't allowed to do this. You weren't allowed to do what you weren't allowed to take part in your culture, just like how you see in the book of Maccabees. It's the same thing was written in history, and Christians want to get away from the Apocrypha so bad, bro. Because the thing about it is they want to get rid of it so bad because you literally can get away with whatever you want in the New Testament if you get rid of that. Because when you see there's neither Jew nor Greek, Christians try to turn that Greek there into now it's everybody. No, it's specifically talking about the Israelites who went through the Greek captivity and had become like everybody else. Greeks. That's what, a matter of fact, like that's why it literally says Greek throughout the New Testament when in Paul's writings. It's madness, right? Give me no, I want you to read this. Go ahead and read this.
Starting at many of the city in Judea.
Yeah.
Many of the Judean Jews were sold into slavery, while others became citizens of other parts of the Roman Empire. The book of Acts.
The book of what?
The book of Acts.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I call it the book of cuts, but the book of Acts in the New Testament, as well as other Pauline texts, make frequent references to the large populations of Hellenized Jews.
Make what?
Make frequent reference to the large populations of Hellenized Jews in the cities of the Roman world. These Hellenized Jews.
Oh, wait. I just thought of something. Right? What it said? The cities of the what?
The city of Salat.
The cities right here.
The cities of the Roman world.
So you what? There's more than one world, man. And I just wanted to preface. There's more than one world, man. It's like you have the Roman world, you have the sports world, you have the basketball world, man. There's the Hebrew world, man. And there's only one world Yahweh shall die for, and it's the world of Israel, man. Yeah, keep going on this.
These Hellenized Jews were only affected by the diaspora in its spiritual sense, absorbing the feeling of loss and homelessness, which became a cornerstone of the Jewish faith, much supported by persecutions in various parts of the world. The policy towards proselytization and conversion to Judaism, which spread the Jewish religion throughout Hellenistic civilization, seemed to have ended the wars against the Romans and the following reconstruction of Jewish values for post-temple era.
No, hold it real fast. A post-temple era, right? But I'm going to go back to the part like proselytization and converting to Judaism, right? Okay. Salak. And converting to Judaism, right? Our people lost their values and they had to come back to it. It doesn't mean Judaism as in like how we see what Amalek is doing. Not that. We're talking about the actual custom of the Torah and their heritage, which is you're an Israelite. These are the laws you have to keep. This is the customs you have to keep being an Israelite, or what? You're gonna get put to death. And Paul is really trying to go save people from that. That's him proselytizing people, bring them back into their culture. Now go back to Romans, because the whole point I went. Acts 2. My bad. Acts 2. Get that real quick, because the whole point of bringing this up is because I said the thing of if he's talking to Israelites, why is he writing a letter to Rome? Because there were Israelites in Rome, because it was part of the diaspora. That's why we're here. And this right here, this article that has a lot of sources throughout different things like the Jewish Encyclopedia and other things. This sources relates right back to the Bible, specifically the book of 1st and 2nd Maccabees, explaining why this is happening. And this even attributes read this part again. Read this right here.
The book of Acts in the New Testament, as well as other Pauline texts, make frequent reference to the large populations of Hellenized Jews in the cities of the Roman world. These Hellenized...
Wait, stop right there. He made references to the large populations of Hellenized Jews. He was talking to Jews who were Hellenized. This is why it says no difference between the Jew or the Greek. Why? Because they're the same people. The people that's talking about the Hellenistas is talking about the same people. The Jew, and they have the same. That's why I said the same Lord as what is that? What is that? The same Lord overall. They have the same Lord overall because they're the same people. You're not a Greek. What you got? You got something? Y'all, what's up?
Yeah. Did you already bring out the point about how Paul said he was a Roman?
Was that Acts? That's Acts 25, right?
Yeah.
No, in Acts 22.
2 or 25.
Yeah, Acts 22 and 25.
Full verse.
You want me to bring it out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Kind of says, and as they bound him with thongs, Paul said unto the centurion that stood by, is it lawful for you to scourge a man that is a Roman and uncondemned? When the centurion heard that, he went and told the chief captain, saying, take heed what thou doest, for this man is a Roman. Then the chief captain came and said unto him, tell me, art thou a Roman? He said, yea, yea.
He said,
And the
yeah,
chief captain,
sorry, real fast. Sorry. Paul said he was a Roman. What does that mean? That means just saying you're a Roman doesn't literally mean you're a white person. It literally means it doesn't literally mean specifically. There's instances in the Bible where you're just a citizen of this place. You don't literally you don't descend from the Caucasians who are from Rome. Paul even in Romans chapter 11 says, I'm an Israelite. But he also says he's a what? A Roman. What? By citizenship. That's who he's talking about in Romans chapter 1, verse 7. Really, the whole book of Romans, but Romans chapter 1, verse 7, to all that be beloved of the Lord and called to be set apart ones, the saints. He's talking to those people, the citizens of Rome who are Israelites. Go ahead, Yosef.
And he says it in the next verse how like he gained his citizenship, his Roman citizenship. He says, and the chief captain answered, with a great sum obtained I this freedom. And Paul said, but I was free-born. Paul said, I was free-born a citizen of Rome.
Elaborate on that real quick.
Oh, pretty much he was born in Rome. Pretty much this is what Paul is saying. So that's how he got his citizenship, his Roman citizenship. He didn't have to pay for it. So he must have been of those Jews that migrated to Rome because of the economic conditions and the constant wars in Israel.
And you see evidence of that in Acts chapter 2, where it talks about, matter of fact, get that. Acts chapter 2, verse 5.
It is Acts chapter 2 and 5. It says, and there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation.
Jews, devout men out of every nation, just like how Rome would be one of those. The devout men out of every nation. Go ahead.
Under heaven. Yep. Now, when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because every man heard them speak in his own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our own tongue?
They all hear what's going on in their own tongue. Right? Go ahead.
Wherein we were born.
Wherein they were born. Because what? There were Jews born in different lands because of the diaspora. Go ahead.
Parthians, Medes, Elamites, and dwellers in the Mesopotamia, and Judea, and Cappadocia, and Pontus, and Asia, Phrygia, and Pamphylia, in Egypt, and in the parts of Libya, and Cyrene, and strangers of Rome.
Where?
Rome.
Strangers of Rome. So you know what? There was Jews in Rome. Even it talks about, was that Priscilla and them in Acts chapter 18? Pull that real fast.
But Acts chapter 18, and I'm going to start at verse 1. After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy with his wife Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome.
To do what?
Depart from Rome.
So you what? There were Jews in Rome, and then there was a decree. It's really talking about a specific set of Israelites to depart from Rome. Why? Because it was already there. That's why Paul had to go there and write an epistle to them. This is why the epistle is an epistle of Romans is specifically to the Israelites or the church in Rome, the synagogue in Rome. It's not even a difficult thing to understand. Now, when you start, let's before we delve off that point, let's look at some actual precepts that you could ask a Christian that wouldn't make that much sense if he was talking to everybody. Give me Romans chapter 4, verse 1.